Hi, Vu. The work you sent so far looks great. Apologize for the delay. I wanted to get you a video sooner. Just been super swamped last week, and we have a holiday 3-day weekend, so have friends over, things like that. So just been a little busy. Um, one touch up we need to do on the garage door header is to add insulation through this area. And what we're going to do is spray foam insulation. And I want to show you how it was done on one of the other details. But here it is. We put R-38 closed cell spray foam insulation, points to it. And then it's just basically squiggly lines. This is probably uh, to scale, this is probably about 8 inches thick or so. For example, that's a 2 by 8 ledger, so that's supposed to be 7.5 inches. So yeah, if that's 7.5 inches, this is about 6 or 7 inches thick. Thickness doesn't really matter. Um, just you can kind of see the squiggly, swirly lines here, and then also too. And really, these squiggly lines could go all the way to the deck because it does spray to the deck. But this is okay how it's done. But you can see how it's gone around. For instance, this 2 by 4 that is basically cut through at that point. So this is a side view of the floor joist. So when we jump over to the garage door header detail, we just need to run it. Probably make the spray foam come down just slightly past this 2 by 6, even if it's a little bit bigger on scale than the other drawing. Just make it come down a little bit past this, so it'll go around this one, and then it'll go over this one right here, and then it would stop here, um, and then it would pick up again over here, I think, would be the thing. Actually, to do that a little bit better, have it just wrap around that 2 by 4 right there. So basically, you'd have a solid line edge running across here. Just run it all the way across because this is an angled board. So it'd run across here solid, and then as it fills up, it'll go around this 2 by 4, and then it would go around this 2 by 6, just like it does right here. So just need to update that detail. Then for the other one, we're going to jump over to this drawing. Um, and let me just I'll start in the upper left right here. So you need to look back at the original and double check for um, the bold lines. Let me pause. Actually, here it is. So as I scoot up, okay, so here you can see the bold lines more. So the shelving pops a little bit, the bed frame pops a little bolder, the lights are bolder, and that's bolder, I think, too. So as we jump over here, you can tell a lot of the bolding is gone. So we need to get that back so it makes it easier to look at. And also too, I'm noticing there's a couple of extra lines in here. So there's a little line right here that's extra and one over here that's extra if I look back at the original. So see how this looks. And 6 by 24 tile. Whoop, wrong detail there. So yeah, just I think if you bold those and then possibly, I'm not sure, but when I look at this the lines for the tile seem lighter. So see, like the line for the tile versus the line for the bed versus the line for the bed frame, and then the line for the nightstand. So I'm actually seeing like three different line styles right here. I'm seeing one, two, 3, 4, actually 4 different line styles. now that I actually look at it and go over it. So if you can check that, doing these 4 different line styles like that, it really makes it easier to look at. So just go through, touch up that. Then on this detail, this came out great. I think what we need to do is change the how dark some of that is. Let me see here how the other one's done. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, so see how the other one's done um, like this, and then you can see how you've got it. It's got some darkness to it, so it's good to take that out so that it can print better. Um, and for some reason there's a dotted line here that you carried as well, but we need to take that dotted line out. That's really not doing anything. And again, check the line thicknesses a little bit. It seems pretty consistent here. I think I see maybe this one's thicker and that one's thinner a little bit, but I think you're not too far off. So yeah, if you can just check those line styles. Um, oh, and then take this uh, take this CMU out. I just realized that looking at it. CMU is a concrete masonry unit. So we eliminated the concrete blocks um, and just put it 50 inches face to face. That would be fine. I think that'll do that. That'll specify everything good enough. Once I go over here, I think this looks great initially. We need to remove the receptacle right here because that is was for the toilet that's now gone. But go ahead and just move it to being inside the cabinet. Um, that way, just stick it right here in the middle. And I'll have to get you some measurements too for what the height of this vanity is so that we know exactly how to do the blocking. Um, on the drop ceiling, so we've got the um, uh, 8'6". So the ceiling drops to 8'1" right here. So we need to drop the ceiling and double check over to the plans for what that measurement is. So we're looking right through here. So it's basically 3 foot 3.5. So 3 foot 3.5 should be the line of the drop ceiling. So 3 foot 3.5. So here's 3 foot, and then it would be 3.5. So 3 foot 3.5 would be the drop ceiling. But now that I see, um, now that I see that the this is actually sticking out further, hold on 1 second. Okay, so I'm realizing how my instructions that I gave you versus how it's actually built. So, so what we need to do is go 36 inches, and then we need to notate a 2 by 4 right here, looking at the side, similar to how we're looking right here. 2 by 4 base plate, and it put 2 by 4 PT base plate, pressure treated 2 by 4 PT base plate. Put a 2 by 4 PT base plate, and it's going to go 36 inches to the side of that. And then what happens is as that 2 by 4 gets wrapped with various materials and tile, it eventually becomes instead of uh, instead of 3.5 inches wide, it eventually becomes 6 inches by the time it gets layered on both sides of backer board and then tile and so forth on both sides. It starts thickening up by about 2 inches or so. So the positioning of this is a little off. Um, Now that I think about it, so let's do 36 inches to the side of the 2 by 4 and and then from there center up this 6 inches you have right here, center that up over top of the 2 by 4. So we're going 36 inches over to to the edge of the 2 by 4 here, but take this and shift it over so that it sits around that, and maybe make a we'll eliminate the the 6 inches for now, but put the cap over it. So it's 36 inches over to the 3.5 inches, right? Then 3 inches, then 36 inches again. So let me show you on the plans, so we can draw it so it matches the plans over here. So we have 3 foot to the sill, because these are framing measurements and we're doing an ID drawing that has actual final measurements. But we're going to take these framing measurements and fit them into the ID drawing. So basically go 3 foot over to the 2 by 4, which is 3.5 inches. Then notate 3 inches to the side of the vanity. Then the vanity is 3 foot 0. Okay, so so you've got your measurements that'll run across here. So we'll put the 2 by 4 in there, and then just at the 36-inch mark, make the rest of the measurements. So the vanity will basically stay in the same spot, I think. Actually, you've got 6 inches in here, and when we add this up, we've got 6.5. So we've got 3 and 3.5. So actually there's an extra half an inch there. And then while I'm going over measurements too, this is this measurement from here to the outside wall is 3 foot 2.5, but the wall is 3.5 inches of framing. So that's going to leave 2 foot 11. So when I go over to the drawing here, 2 foot 11. So you've got that correct. So if you can change that to be 2 foot 11 so that these measurements consistently match what the measurements are over here. So that gets this little thing right here fixed. And then where that drop ceiling is at. So this initially started with the drop ceiling. One is the glass is going to go all the way to that, and the drop ceiling is 8'1". So you've got your 8'6" over here. We're gonna drop. We're gonna drop to 8'1" right over here, and then bring the glass all the way up to that ceiling mark. And then that ceiling is going to hang out to the outer edge of the 2 by 4. So we're going to go 36 inches plus the 3.5. So we're at 39.5 inches. So if you take the 39.5, which is what, 3 foot 3.5. So mark this as 3 foot 3.5 to the drop down ceiling. And you don't need to put the 2 by, I mean, you got the 2 by 4 down here just to mark it in there that it's in there. But up here we don't need to mark how the framing is framed. The framers will figure it out, but we just need the line of the ceiling. So that line will drop out, and you can drop a measurement across there, I guess, to where that is. And then that'll be good too, because then we can drop measurements the rest of the way. And while we're looking at this, let's drop a pendant light on this vanity. You've got the pendant lights over here. Give me a pendant light as well. I want to drop it. Let's put it right down on centered on the edge. Let's center it on the edge of this vanity right here. So we'll have one pendant light that hangs down to about this height right here. So stop it right here. That way it's up and you're not bumping it with your head. Um, but let's put the bottom of it right about right here and drop a pendant light right there. From there, I'll go over the tile insert later. Now going down, let me pause for a second. Okay, so I think everything here looks great. I didn't double check the measurements. I'll go back later and double check, but I'm assuming you got the measurements adjusted correctly. We're just going to need the measurements for where the wall is versus the side of the shelf. So if you could put the measurement in there for that, and then and basically what I want to do is basically what I think is the proper way to do here is also give me a measurement off the center line. So you've got the center line. Um, Give me a measurement off the center line from here to the edge of this shelf. That's probably the better way to do it. Give me the measurement from, so don't give me the measurement over here or the measurement over here. Let's go off the center line and give me the center line to the edge and give me the center line to the edge of that as well. Or actually right here. You could just do it right there, and then you could probably do the other one right here. Just continue the line across so I get a solid line across through there. And we could actually you could do it right here. Excuse me. Well, this line's there, that line's there. But anyways, you can make one across. We've already got 36-inch hood right here, so we can eliminate this one that says 36 inches. Um, and then you could then from there just make the lines right here. So go from here to there and give me the measurement, and the same thing on the other side, and eliminate that 36 inch because we already know it's a 36-inch hood that's going to be centered up on the center line. And then I'll know that these shelves, because once the house is framed is one thing, but then we're going to add sheetrock here, but there's not sheetrock over here because it's cabinets, different thickness. So we'll just run everything off the center line so that if the gap over here is not the same gap over here, we'll try to get it built that way. But sometimes we'll frame it one way, and by the time they drop the cabinets and the sheetrock, it'll kind of shift by a half an inch or something. So we'll try to get it right when we frame it, but let's go off this center line. I think that's the proper way. Now I think everything with this one's so simple, so I think everything's perfect right there. Oh, which by the way, wrong ceiling height, just realized that. So that's going in the upper bath, right, that's going in this bathroom right here. And according to that, we're 8'6" for that toilet. So there is one adjustment there. Then the other thing too is on this one, you got it pretty close on here. So let me go over something here is the positioning of all this is, and I know I was didn't have it sketched out, so I just gave you a verbal. But what we want is here's the edge of the doorway to the stairs, right? So the flower bed is correct. We've got the flower bed all the way over to the stairs. That's correct. But what I want to do is I want to take this and it needs to move over. So we've got the center line and the TVs need to be in the center line. So this whole section right here, um, that is 3 foot, 4, 5, 6. So we got 6 feet wide right here. That 6 feet needs to be centered on the center line. So if we got 4 feet and then half of 6 is 3, so we'd have about 1 foot of wall, and then the stone would start. Um, and then that would lay out properly. So that's the main thing. And 65, I see you got 65-inch TV, 49 by 28. Let me check that. So I just looked online real quick. I'm seeing 30, basically 33 inches by 57. And I'm seeing on here 36 inches by 57. So let's go with the 36 by 57. Let me pause again. So go 57 by 36. 57 by 36 and adjust the size of that. Um, adjust the size of that right there. So that's all to scale once you recenter that. So I think that'll cover it on this sheet. And one more thing too, while we're at it, and it's not going to fit on this sheet, so we'll have to make another sheet. Um, we'll have to make another sheet, and it's going to be for the kitchen too. So it'll be good if the kitchen portion is on the other sheet as well. So the other detail I want to add at the same time while we're doing this is a new detail. It's going to be the first floor, and we're going to want to look at this wall right here. Um, and what we're going to do is we're going to have the pantry to the left. So we're just basically taking this line and saying pantry to the left, like you did on the other shelving here. You see pantry side. So at this point, it's pantry side on the left, and then you're going to have the refrigerator. So you're going to have, if this is the same drawing, just imagine the range hood's not there. So we're going to have pantry on the left, then we're going to have the refrigerator, right? And then we're going to have the cabinets to the corner of the wall where the hallway is at. And you could say hallway side, right? And then by the way too, there's a overhang for the cabinets. So you've got a little bit of cabinets, and then it has a line, and then it would have the cabinets that are actually coming forward to you. So then the cabinets that are coming like a slice through of the side of the cabinet, that'll be like boulder lines, and then there'll be a counter overhang. Um, and I think the counter's set back a little bit from the corner of the wall here. So as I go back, so hopefully that makes sense. Now we're kind of looking at it at an angle, but here we are, pantry side, refrigerator, a little bit of cabinet, right? But it has a countertop overhang, so you can see the cabinets underneath. I'll zoom in. Here's the cabinet underneath with a little bit of overhang, right? And there's a drop down ceiling too. So here's the line of the drop down ceiling right here. Okay, so yeah, you can see here's the corner of the wall. Here's the drop down ceiling, kind of like we showed in the bathroom shower a minute ago. So here's the hallway side. So hallway side corner, you got the drop down ceiling. Then you've got the edge of the countertop goes back to the pony wall. So this is a 2x4 wall that's supporting the countertop. And then you have the 24-inch cabinet. Here's 24 inches over here, right? And you can see here's the 3.5 inches for the pony wall thickness. So you can draw in the pony wall with a base plate and a top plate. Um, and then the 2x4 and do the X's, kind of like we talked about, like when you did like the bed and so forth. So you know how to draw that in, and then draw the cabinet 24 inches. Then you've got another 2 inches of countertop hanging, but then the cabinet goes this way. Okay, so that's the wall we're going to do. Then we're going to take I think we're going a 48-inch shelf. Hold on one second, I'll double check just to make sure. So yeah, so I just looked on my list of products there, and we are going with a we're going to go with a 36 inch. Would it be a little bit bigger than that? So when you do the wall detail, you pretty much know how to do the cabinets across the bottom, um, and then the shelf heights will be the same, and just put the three shelves that are 36 inches, And those shelves are going basically right along this wall, and they're going to center up. They're not going to center up with the wall. We're going to pull the center 2 inches in. Because the countertop. So what I want to do is I kind of want to center it. Yeah, you know what? Let's just let's center it 2 inch. Let's do 1 inch. Because of the 2 inches right here. So I'm thinking, do I center it in a wall or do I center it in a countertop, which is a 1 inch difference, kind of minute. Um, but yeah, let's consider it. Let's put the center 2 inches over. So wherever the center normally would have landed, let's adjust for the fact that this countertop is back 2 inches, so that it kind of lines up more with the countertop and so forth. So yeah, let's drop the 36-inch shelves, and they're going right here at the same height. So I think that explains everything. Everything's looking great so far, and I appreciate everything. Go from there. Thank you.